Hey, how's it going? Dutch, the lone survivalist who has his own island in the middle of Hope County. We meet Dutch very early in the game while trying to escape from the cult, and he helps us along the way to join the resistance and take down Joseph's seed. We know he's a recluse who lives in a bunker, but apart from that, there isn't a great deal known about the guy. He has a funny band-aid on the back of his head, but what's Dutch's story? I explored around the old man's bunker and there were a couple of letters that you can read, and from the information gathered we learned that Dutch has an unstable relationship with son Robbie, who has a wife Anne, and young son Ricky. Now I want to bring your attention to another character in Far Cry 5. One that we don't actually get to meet at all, but provides us with challenges throughout the game. His name is Clutch Nixon. From what we understand, Clutch was a famous stunt performer and a highly sought after professional entertainer. Famous for performing stunts with many vehicles as well as a homemade wingsuit, the player can visit various memorial locations around the map to recreate his famous stunts. From what we understand, Clutch had a drinking problem, was very injury prone, but was also declared legally dead in 1977. Now, this is where the conspiracy theory comes out. What if Dutch and Clutch are actually one and the same? Let's look at the evidence. Firstly, not only do Dutch and Clutch rhyme, but their last names are names of former United States presidents, Franklin D. Roosevelt and Richard Nixon. Get it? Richard Dutch Roosevelt and Clutch Nixon. Bit of a coinky-dink if you ask me. At the start of the Godspeed Wingsuit Challenge, the narrator tells us that this was the last performance of Clutch's career.
Clutch Nixon leapt off the mountain and was never seen again.
Never seen again. After completing the stunt, I revisited Raptor's Peak to try and retrace the path and look for any evidence that would definitively indicate Clutch's death, like a skeleton, helmet, or an old wingsuit, but I wasn't able to find anything on land or underwater. If you draw a straight line at the final checkpoint of this challenge, it leads directly to Dutch's personal island. Is it possible that Clutch Nixon continued to fly over that vast distance and land on a remote part in the center of the map which eventually became his home? Besides, how much money would it actually take for someone to fully build and furnish a bunker on his own island? Lots, I would say.
And having achieved financial success beyond his wildest dreams.
So if that's not enough to convince you, how about this? Most of the NPCs in the game are modelled to closely resemble the voice actor that portrays them. Joseph, Jacob, and Faith Seed all have undeniable similarities to the people that voice them. John Tench is the name of the actor that plays Dutch, but looks remarkably similar to Clutch. And if you look closely, they look like they could be the same person decades older. Alright, now let's go take a look around the bunker to see what we can find. Alright, so when we first walk in, get greeted by the American flag. So in this blue room, what have we got? Just looking at these books here. Apparently Clutch was a poet for erotic literature. Okay, we got some whiskey here. We know that Clutch was a bit of an alcoholic, but I suppose this here doesn't mean too much. Okay, so in this room, what have we got? Well, I see some license plates here. Also some motor oil and windshield washer fluid. And over here we've got a picture of a car and a calendar with a car on it. Clutch was quite the revhead, true. Over in this room now, some more books. Wow, he's got a lot of copies of the same books. This map over here I've seen around a few other places. And this map here is just a map of Hope County. And some surveillance. Okay, so this room looks like a sick bay. This big poster right here of the 79 Patriot. Very hard not to notice. And in the bottom right hand corner of this sheet of paper we have the molecular formula for cocaine. Interesting. Apparently Faith Seed also has this formula tattooed on her left forearm. Right, now heading to this room at the back of the bunker, this is where we first meet Dutch when we're handcuffed to this bed. Okay, if we look to our left here, we've got some badges here. So it looks like Dutch actually served in the Vietnam War. And there's also a Vietnam plaque right here. I wonder if he'll make an appearance in the DLC. Bit of wine down here, some more badges. And if we look to our right, whoa, what is this? A picture of Clutch Nixon. Well, I think that pretty much answers our question. Sort of. Now, looking at this locker, I was really hoping to find an old wingsuit in here, but nothing but old man clothes. Okay, so my theory. Clutch Nixon was a crazy-ass stunt performer who suffered from alcohol and substance abuse and went missing at the age of 34 after a wingsuit stunt gone wrong. After accomplishing everything he wanted in life, he winds up on an island and decides to make a fresh start and leaves his old life behind him. Changes his name from Clutch Nixon to Dutch Roosevelt, he starts a family and serves in the Vietnam War. He comes back as a hero with enough money saved up to build a bunker, and with plenty of fire left in his belly, focuses his attention on the dangerously growing Peggy cult. I was also trying to follow up something else. On Clutch's wiki page, there is a quote from the stuntman that says, "Hold my beer," and he's talking to somebody called George Rye. I wondered if this person was a relative to gun for hire Nick Rye, but after a little searching I could not find out who this person is or where I can find him. And I was hoping there was some kind of Easter egg printed on these license plates. I do find it strange though that the description says Clutch Nixon rode this 2013 Ravage when he died in 1977. So that concludes my video. I hope you enjoyed watching. Let me know if you think that these two guys are connected somehow. Thanks for hanging out, I got more stuff on the way, and feel free to like and subscribe to my channel Stone Age Gameplay. Until next time, my name is Dizza, I'll see you in the next one.